want to, you're saying a whole lot of very powerful things. And these are some of the things that when other people say it, the Igbos will come after them. That is the honest truth.
Yes.
The people who kidnapped you, were they Fulani henchmen or were they Igbo?
Igbos, 100%. All of them. When you speak Aba, I know. When you speak in Kanu, I know. When you speak Anambra, I know. All of them are Igbos, Imo State. If you are not from Imo State, then maybe you were born there. Because in Enugu where I live, there are people from Abia, people from Anambra born in Enugu, and they speak in Kanu. One of them told me, Okwuluora, I am from where you are. From. But I won't tell you. Meaning that he's from Kanu, but probably born and raised in Imo State. Everybody there, from sign language, from my intellectual capacity or whatever, whichever, everybody there is Igbo.
Have you not spoken up against this constant practice of these pastors where they stage miracles to deceive our mothers, to deceive families, sow seed of discord among husbands and wives?
I have not.
I've seen some videos where Fulani herdsmen are actually killing people in farms like in Enugu, and not just in Southeast, in Benue, in Plateau, and in other places. We've seen video evidence. So I want you to tell me, do you think that those who believe that the Fulanis are also contributing to the insecurity in the Southeast are wrong? Do you think that the majority of the insecurity is perpetuated by the Igbos, just like those who kidnapped you?
Fulani herdsmen are not causing menace in Igboland.
Ladies and gentlemen, I need you to take a very good look at this man here. This is Truth Podcast, and you know how we do it at Truth Podcast. We're not just like every other podcast where you come and speak and go. We're going to confirm whether this man is a liar or he's genuine with all of the things he has been doing, the charity work, the so-called charity work, according to a lot of people. So we're going to visit some of these hospitals and confirm all of these things. And then he's also going to be part of this video.
Okwuluora. To some, he is a fearless voice of the people, a man who speaks without flinching, no matter whose table shakes. To others, he is a mystery wrapped in controversy, a man you cannot fully trust, yet cannot fully ignore.
I've continued to say, one thing is that you cannot please the world. Me, myself, and everybody who have goodwill, do the much you can and leave the rest for God. There are always people who are there to criticize. Even Jesus Christ of Nazareth, when he was in this world, a lot of people didn't believe him. When he went back to heaven, people believed him. Today in our generation, there are people, if you want to provoke them, mention Jesus. You provoke them. There is no way you please everybody. You are from Ebonyi State. Go to your community. Give every family $2,000 because you want to help them. Some of them are going to call you names. Some of them are going to say you want to show off. Some of them say you want to take the destiny that they don't even have.
His journey is painted with moments of raw advocacy, bitter accusations, silent battles, and scars the public never sees. And then there was the day his voice was almost silenced. The story of his kidnap, a moment that still leaves more questions than answers.
It happened in Omaka, in Njaba, local government area of Enugu State. I was in their compound doing live video, not knowing that some people are waiting for me outside the gate. Immediately we came out of the gate. What I had was lie down, back. My friend, MC Charles, my driver, Kensele, and my friend, Obina from Mburubu in Kanu East. All of us, we laid down. We surrendered everything. They put all of us in Okada to an unknown place. Within 2 minutes, they said I should open my eyes. It was a camp of hundreds of vibrant, handsome-looking young men with all sorts of guns. I say, sir, please, can you take all my money, take my motor, take all my phones, and allow me to leave?
Who really is Okwuluora? A hero of the masses, a product of the chaos he fights, or something else entirely? In this conversation, we pull back the layers, not to defend, not to condemn, but to listen, question, and understand. Because sometimes the truth hides in the tension between admiration and doubt. This is Truth Podcast, and this is Okwuluora.
Today we are privileged to have him in our studio, and we are going to be dissecting a whole lot of issues, especially as regard to the insecurity in the Southeast and his recent Udell in the hands of kidnappers. So you're welcome, sir.
Thank you very much.
Okay. I think, of course, as expected, the first question I should ask you is the recent Udell you had in the hands of kidnappers. You went, according to some of your posts on social media, you went out as usual, trying to help someone, a sick person, someone who is having health challenges. You actually raised money for the treatment of this person, and then you went to, you said it's Umaka in
Njaba local government.
Njaba local government. This is in Imo State.
Yes.
And then, shockingly, you were kidnapped instead of praised by the host of the community where you had gone to do your usual charity work. So please, I would want you to tell us about it. We've read about it, and there are so many questions people are asking. Some are even saying that it's not true. That if it is true, you should provide proof that you were kidnapped. That you're planning, you conspired with the person whose account you used to raise the money to, corner the money, and now you're telling us stories. So tell us now that you're here, what exactly happened?
I've continued to say, one thing is that you cannot please the world. Me, myself, and everybody who have goodwill, do the much you can and leave the rest for God. There are always people who are there to criticize. I went to Umaka, that was Wednesday last week. I've never been to Umaka before. But truth to be told, I've been hearing of kidnapping and gunmen and gunwomen there. But I saw this guy who is 24 years. And I've looked at the line. The dialysis line is very dirty. They live in the village. Why I haven't gone to Umaka for long was out of fear. And a night before I went to Umaka, I told my godfather that I'm going to go there. He said, what if something happens to you? I said, what if something happens to that sick boy? He said, you are priority. If something happens to you, what of hundreds of other people who are hoping on you? The family said they needed 70 million, according to Zenith Medical and Kidney Center here in Abuja. Reaching their compound, they were very poor, and the father died May 2024. So the man I used his account was the father's immediate younger brother. And I think a day after that, he told me he was for 40-something million. I said, I don't care. Take this child to Zenith Medical Kidney Center in Abuja and make sure that it's fine. So after the fundraising, it happened in Omaka, in Njaba, local government area of Enugu State. I was in their compound doing live video, not knowing that some people are waiting for me outside the gate. Immediately we came out of the gate. What I had was lie down, back. My friend, MC Charles, my driver, Kensele, and my friend, Obina from Mburubin in Kanu East. All of us, we laid down. We surrendered everything. They put all of us in Okada to an unknown place. And I closed my eyes. I was even the one telling them to tie my eyes. Because from stories, the thing that annoys them is them having eye contact with somebody they know.
Recognition.
That is how they take people's life. They say, don't worry, open your eyes. Within 2 minutes, they said I should open my eyes. It was a camp of hundreds of vibrant, handsome-looking young men with all sorts of guns. They took us into the camp. I sat on the floor. They said no, that I should sit on the chair. I was panicking. I told them that I have money in my account. I surrendered I had 5 phones due to my work. I surrendered all my phones and password. I put it in a bag. I surrendered my vehicle, Toyota Tacoma. And my Tacoma had security. And to avoid them trying to go away with the vehicle and then the security, I closed my eyes. I came there, I told them the security. I said, sir, please, can you take all my money, take my motor, take all my phones and allow me to leave? Even while I was praying during the fundraising, because when I'm doing fundraising, I pray so much. So God will touch hearts of people. I picked some sand there. I said, the land of Omaka. Before I came here, I was told that coming here is difficult. But if my intentions are of good, I want to see myself in Enugu in the next couple of hours. But if not, eat my head. Not knowing that 2 minutes after that prayer, you can go and watch the live video. It's on internet, it doesn't forget. About 10 hefty armed men. Shockingly, none of them beat me. None of them kicked me. In fact, some of them recognized me. One of them called me Okwuluora. Half of them now say, "Are you the Okwuluora?" You know, you might be hearing of somebody, but it's not that. I say, "It's me." I say, "What are you here to do?" I say, "A boy from your village, his name is Chinecherem, had kidney issue. I've seen him on the internet for more than 6 months. And I decided today that I'm going to submit myself for God to use me and you, Chinecherem." And surprisingly, 2 days ago, there's a girl from the same Umaka. I did fundraising for her in Owerri. She had a twin. And they told her that she had a BP and other things, complications, that if they don't do abortion, that there's a chance that both kidneys will fail. About 7 months ago, I did fundraising for her in Owerri. And now she's okay. She's in Zedit Medical and Kidney Center, Abuja here. And the same China HRM is in the same hospital. Seated here, we have 7 people that we've raised enough into their accounts. I don't collect money from anybody. In fact, anybody I want to do fundraising for, I donate first. If my app is having issue, we are going to pause the fundraising. That is my ritual. I have to lead by example. You know, people are going to talk out of hate. Some people are trying to protect their territory. Some time ago, there was a significant insecurity in Enugu State where I live. Governor of Enugu State is my oga. I came out and I told the people that Enugu is having a security issue. If you're coming to Enugu, you have to be careful. Governor of Enugu State, the chief security, #1 citizen of Enugu State, you need to do something. And I was called and showed measures that they were taking. But on the other side, the people are trying to protect their community. But everybody knows what is going on. In fact, the hierarchy of that local government, both in politics, both those in America, retired American Marine who are from that community, they called me on a WhatsApp call and say, "Thank you for saying what we could not say." Because the fear is these people will commit crime and then take money from you and probably take someone's life and warn the family that if they raise alarm, they will come after the rest. But I'm Okuluora and Igbo. I need to set the record straight. If I did not say what happened, maybe you or him will have a call from some location and go. It was on Owerri, then Olu Road. We were running. And then we were told to turn to the other side of the road and enter. That place is Omaka, I think, St. Joseph's Church. And then uncle of that boy came and picked us. The argument now is that I was picked in Mbitolu. Don't I know where Omaka is and where Mbitolu is?
So just for us to get it very clearly. Now, after your kidnap, how did you escape? Did you escape or you were released?
I didn't escape. We escaped to where? We were in the middle of the bush with over 100 men heavily armed. In fact, it was God and my goodwill that saved me. At some point, I was having brotherly conversation with them. You know, I told myself that these guys, even if government want to do something, it's not a combat thing. These are people you could call, talk sense into them. Drop your whip on amnesty. Former President Yaradua did that. These are young, you know, people in the bush looked at her. These are boys, their cologne, their perfume is better than mine. They have their vehicles. They only use a machine for bush operations and all that.
Now, I want to, you know, you're saying a whole lot of very powerful things. And these are some of the things that when other people say it, the Igbos will come after them. That is the honest truth.
Yes.
The people who kidnapped you, were they Fulani herdsmen or were they Igbo?
Igbos, 100%. All of them. When you speak Aba, I know. When you speak in Kanu, I know. When you speak Nnamdi, I know. All of them are Igbos, Imo State. If you are not from Imo State, then maybe you were born there. Because in Enugu where I live, there are people from Abia, people from Anambra born in Enugu, and they speak in Kanu. One of them told me, Okwuluora, I am from where you are from. But I won't tell you. Meaning that he's from Kanu, but probably born and raised in Imo State. Everybody there, from sign language, from my intellectual capacity or whatever, whichever, everybody there is Igbo. I'm not saying that outsiders are not committing a menace in Igboland, but my encounter with my friends, 100% Igbo youths. There is no man there. Even you at your age, I see you as a youth. All of them are youth, and many of them are older than them. But I was at their mercy. I didn't escape. They told me to leave. In fact, they told me that there was another camp
Ahead.
that if I go alone, they will open fire because it was late, around 11 in the night. So the commander, out of his goodwill, told 3 of his men to escort me. So they were moving with bike. So their people up there will know that it was them. Because if I go, the risk is high. I was released. I gave them my vehicle. I was surprisingly, they said that I should go and carry my vehicle back. They gave me back my phones. I had my purse with my international documents in it. They opened it. I say, "Are your documents complete?" Yeah, I didn't even open it. I say it's complete because in my head, I just want to leave. The only thing they took from me was money, and that money I voluntarily, not like ransom. It hasn't gotten to that level. I knew if they didn't recognize me or the grace of God, they will call for ransom. Call people you know, bring so amount of money or will kill you. But then they never did. They only took me to POS. I willingly transferred every money in my account. What was remaining in my account was 2,000 naira. But the joy is that the amount needed for the transplant was realized. And the following morning, they went back and arrested that man.
Arrested or kidnapped?
Arrested or kidnapped, anyone.
The same people who had kidnapped you?
Yes, the man, they raised the money in his account. Because that night, why the thing will happen, there were people in their shops making videos. So even before my release, the information leaked on the internet. So my prayer was that people who recognize the environment don't come to combat. Because if they come, the process of exchanging fire, I might be short. So I was praying that people who were making videos secretly don't post it on the internet, and maybe security personnel will find the location and start coming to our rescue. They took me to POS. Most of the POS don't have the amount of money. So they finally got one that can give them the amount of money I have. I transferred. And a certain people called me. They say they are Umuaka in diaspora, that they want to contribute money and give me for the shock, the trauma, the money I gave and all that. I say, contribute this money, pay it into Chinecherem's treatment account, which belongs to the uncle. His name is Ike Chukwobinachas. It's a first bank account. It's verifiable. And I'm sure all this noise making bank officials had gone through the bank. Even my own bank had gone through the bank and see what actually transpired. But for the fact that these people didn't touch me, none of them. In fact, when I sat on the floor, very dirty place, they gave me a bench. They were talking to me like a brother. But the truth is, you are not a security personnel. You are not recognized by the state, local, or federal government. Having a gun is a crime. Whether you are using it to defend whoever, since there is no constituted authority that allowed you and gave you a license to have gun and checkmating you for having a machine that can take lives within a second is criminality for me.
And then, first of all, I want to say thank God for your safety.
Thank you.
It would have been very tragic that we wake up one morning and we heard that Okwuluora, has become another victim.
It was that close.
It was that close. I mean, it's very traumatic. It's a traumatic experience that I wouldn't even wish my enemy. When you're taken against your will to such a camp where people who that most of them are no longer mentally stable. You know that these guys have been messed up mentally. They can open fire at you, at any moment and feel good about it. So it's very traumatic. And I thank God you're here today and we're telling it as a story. Whether people believe it or not, it's their own business. All right. But what I want to find out is, you see, in the internet, amongst Igbos, people keep saying that those who are terrorizing the Southeast are, outsiders, Fulani herdsmen, and This was why IPOB came into existence under the idea or the notion that they want to combat these so-called Fulani terrorists. They want to chase them away from the southeast forest. And we've grown to believe that whatever happens now, the Fulanis want to take over southeast. They want to take over our land. They want to do that. And I have seen some videos. I've seen some videos where Fulani herdsmen are actually killing people in farms like in Enugu, and not just in southeast, in Benue, in Plateau, and in other places. We've seen video evidence. So I want you to tell me, do you think that those who believe that the Fulanis are also contributing to the insecurity in the southeast are wrong? Do you think that the majority of the insecurity is perpetuated by the Igbos, just like those who kidnapped you?
You know, I will always talk my own experience. Different people, different account. If I tell you that Fulani herdsmen are not causing menace in Igboland, then I'm lying. I've seen evidences, even in Enugu State where I live. I've seen firsthand atrocities committed by Fulani herdsmen. But on the case of Okwuluora, it wasn't Fulani herdsmen. It was fellow youths. Let me not say they are from Imo, but all of them are speaking Imo. I can come from Anambra, raised in Owerri, or born in Owerri, we're speaking that tongue. It doesn't necessarily mean that all of them are from Imo State. But my own account, it was 100% Igbo orchestrated. That doesn't take away the fact that we are having fights in the bush against Fulani men, bringing their cattle to eat proceed of people's farms. So my experience, I can categorically, in every honesty, I can tell you I was held by my fellow Igbo brothers. And I spoke to them in Igbo. I said, Umunne, please, pity me. I am not here to buy property or to take property or to take anything belonging to you. Rather, I came to save one of you. And if you go and watch that live video, at the course of the video, I saw the grandmother of the child crying. And I consoled her. I donated 100,000. I donated another 100,000. I was holding that boy. I say, when you become whole, remember your family. Remember the people of Omaka. Remember the Igbo people that are contributing millions of naira for you to be alive. They say the hospital here says 70 million. And I'm sure they must have gotten 70 million already. You know, as a journalist, you fact check. Go to Zenith Medical and Kidney Center. Ask the patients there, how many of you came from Okula and friends? I'm saying Okula and friends because I'm not the only one contributing. I am only the sacrificial lamb and the person who donate first. And then millions of people. And if you see this donation, 2,000, 1,000, 500, 5,000, but it's a crowd fundraising. Before you know, that 2,000 will turn to 100 million naira. You go to the hospital, ask many patients, do you know Okwuluora? Are you here because of Okwuluora and friends? They will tell you yes. In fact, 2 days ago, a woman I raised money for in Ababa 4 months ago was she came out of ICU 2 days ago. If you sound more brave and healthy than even me, Okwuluora here. So my attack was 100% by Igbo youth. Let me not call it attack because I wasn't beaten up. The fact that they returned my phones, my vehicle, I'm very grateful. I was at their mercy. Some of them were carrying long cutlasses. And these are people who smoke and drink. They have gun. They have cutlass. Anything goes. You know, at some point I was sitting and 3 of them were at my back with cutlass. What if they negotiate my neck? Okay, what am I going to do? You know, people who are saying it's false are people who, you know, even Jesus Christ of Nazareth, when he was in this world, a lot of people didn't believe him. When he went back to heaven, people believed him. Today in our generation, there are people, if you want to provoke them, mention Jesus. You provoke them. There is no way you please everybody. You are from Ebonyi State. Go to your community. Give every family $2,000 because you want to help them. Some of them are going to call you names. Some of them are going to say you want to show off. Some of them say you want to take the destiny that they don't even have.
This reminded me of something.
So I can't be deterred. I tell myself, what if I decide to go back now? I have over 500 fresh kidney cases. Last 2 months in Enugu, I spent 39 million naira. conducting a free kidney function test. Because doctors told me the only way is preventing it early. That for a kidney to fail takes 3 to 4, 5 years. But if early detected, 200,000 naira can take care of you and you stop eating certain food and then take your medication, you'll be okay. Few people supported me. I didn't call anybody. Mr. M gave me 1 million naira. Mayor Udi, local government area of Enugu, gave me 1 million. Mayor Kanu is local government area, gave me 1 million. The Ben Real Estate here in Abuja gave me 1.5 million. My Oga, Igbo elect in Burubu, gave me 2 million naira. I didn't ask him money. And Chairman Willenji Group from Eziago gave me 500,000. A lot of people volunteered. Yokohama Pharmaceutical, Peaceland Pharmaceuticals, a whole lot of them. Please, medical lab. A lot of students, nurses, doctors, lab scientists. It was incredible. To shock you now, out of the entire test we did, 220 something have issues. Doctors said bring them for further investigation to ascertain the level of the damage. And it will cost me over 10 million naira. I've told all of them, go to the hospital if you may, because I don't have the money now. But if you can't, you wait for me until I raise money and call all of you to come to Memphis Hospital in Enugu. So we'll start the evaluation. So upon all these things, there are criticisms. How can a man 35 years of age come to tell you that he was kidnapped? Is it to gain sympathy or what? Far back 2017, 2018, I was diabetic and it was type 1. I need insulin to stand a chance to live. I never claimed such a thing. I come out and beg people on live video that I need insulin, but I don't have. A pen of insulin then was like 18,000 naira. I can't afford it. And in a week, due to how bad it was, I need 2 pens. People were giving me insulin. That is why God have blessed me to a certain extent. That is why when people complain of their health issues, inability to pay school fees, when people say they are depressed, I can clearly understand. I have had my own share of pain. I've eaten pain. Life has never been easy for me. I'm not even sure tomorrow is going to be easy. You know, I always tell people, God, share problem, give everybody. Any day you wake up without a challenge, you are gone. So the challenges are there. Glory to God, and we're going to continue to push.
Ladies and gentlemen, I need you to take a very good look at this man here. This is Cartridge Podcast, and you know how we do it at Cartridge Podcast. We're not just like every other podcast where you come and speak and go. We're going to confirm whether this man is a liar or he's genuine with all of the things he has been doing, the charity work, the so-called charity work, according to a lot of people. So we're going to visit some of these hospitals and confirm all of these things. And then it's also going to be part of this video. And if you've watched to this point, please, I'd like to urge you to do not forget to subscribe to this channel. And we're getting into the main issue. So just stay with us. Okwuluora, first of all, I thank you for having the courage, the boldness to say all of these things. Personally, I can, confirm some of the things you said because I've also experienced it, where I traveled to my village and I shared money. At the end of the day, some people actually threw away the money. Some burned their own. They set the money, bundles of 20,000, and they set it ablaze. All right, because they said I came to collect their destiny. So I don't know what I came, the destiny that that has made you poor. You are in a village. I came to collect
From Abuja to collect this.
to collect it. Next time, please don't burn my money. Give it back to me. There are a lot of people that need it. All right. Now, I want to ask this insecurity of a pen. Do you think it's an institutionalized stuff? Do you think the politicians, the Southeast politicians, have a hand in this insecurity? Because the entire 5 Southeastern states are not even as big as one northern state. It's such a small place that if we want to ensure adequate security, I believe the governors will be able to do that. So do you think that insecurity has some political undertone to it?
Well, I don't know. I'm not a security personnel, but one thing I've learned is they say that security, conversation, and information is secret. You know, there's a way they go over it. But I can remember a speech by General T.Y. Danjuma. He said anywhere in the world where insecurity lasts for 48 hours, that the government is aware. You know what it means to be a state governor? You have all the money, all the resources, all the security setting at your fingertip. Anywhere government want to secure, they will secure. So if things are not going the way it should, especially in security, you are right to hold your politicians accountable. In fact, some senators, governors, I heard they get security votes, different money to make sure they protect lives and properties of the people. I live in Enugu State. I'm from Enugu State. Anytime I feel insecure, I call government house in Enugu. And if they don't respond, I go to social media to make it louder. Because people need to know that their environment is not safe. That was exactly what I did in Omaka, on Njaba Olo, telling people that going there is a no-go area. If not that alarm, many people could have fallen victim after me. But now when you hear that place, you think twice. You make inquiries before you bump into that place. So insecurity in Southeast, 100% fault of our governors, senators, those in House of Rep, and local government, all of them. Their job, number one job, primary job is to protect lives and properties. People are running away from their homes, their businesses. You know, people are losing their lives. A boy was, I think they buried him yesterday or yet to bury, fish magnet in Anambra. He was a young boy, very bright, doing his thing, you know, doing fishing, roasting fish and all that. He was whisked away and killed. Whose fault? The government. Government have failed their number one obligation, which is to protect lives, and number two, to property. So every criticism should go to the government. So anybody calling them out on insecurity is purely correct.
The security service of Nigeria, like the police, the military, and the rest of them, do you think they are being complicit in all of these things? Because in your live video, when you were telling us the story of your kidnap, you said that when you came out, you saw checkpoint.
Yes.
Just few minutes drive from
Yes.
where you were held.
When they escorted us from the village to the road, in fact, the security were there and they turned.
Is it that these security agencies are now playing a part in this insecurity to enrich themselves, or that they are incapable of providing adequate security?
One thing I will tell you, like I said earlier, security issues are, there's a way you go about it. Because in the end, they tell you you shouldn't talk much about security, that you're not a security personnel. But one thing I can assure you is hunger. I saw a video yesterday morning. After the vice president gave a Nigeria basketball women's team properties and hundreds of thousands of dollars, the same way they did to Super Falcons, a soldier was making video of their camp in the bush. In fact, if you see where Nigerian soldiers live, you cry for them. The man, he didn't show his face, but he was saying that they are earning less than 150,000. These are people with wives. You know, those of them in the north, wives, children that go to school, that have rents to pay. Categorically, I won't mention anybody's name, but at least up to 10 policemen, I pay their rent. I pay their children's school fees. And most times, when you die in service, they will push your family out of the barracks and put another family. So there is no security. You know, when you are police, army, DSS, and all these security agencies, your tomorrow is not guaranteed. You might be called upon to go on assignment and you don't come back. What happens to your kids? And that is where the vulnerability comes from. These people are not truly serving with all their might. Arise, all compatriots, right? A call to obey, to serve with all my might, strength and everything. Nobody is serving with such. Go to the national team. Watch Super Eagles of Nigeria 98, 2002, 2000. When they lose a game, they cry for weeks. When you see them say the national anthem, the old national anthem, I don't know why they changed it. Nigeria's initial national anthem was the most emotional anywhere on earth. When you sing that anthem, you cry. Kanu Papiro is my Ogati today. He told me those days in 2096 When you look at the crowd in Teslim Balogun Stadium, National Stadium, Lagos, singing the national anthem, you know you must deliver. Because the crowd are singing, everybody's crying. A call to serve, a call to defend Nigeria. Nobody wants to defend. Even the top politicians, everybody. The owner of the base university, Peter Obi is a running mate. I love him so much. Daddy. I saw, I think 2 weeks ago, I don't know how true it is, but the son graduated from a university in the UK. But base university is rated one of the best in Nigeria. And the owner's child is in the UK. There's a common law they have to make. If you are to take any public office, your children must ride jump and go to school here. If you are to take any public office, anything held pertaining you and your family must be here. So we know those who truly want to serve and those who want to embezzle. There is no way your security will be starving, dirty uniform, poor gun, no arms and ammunition enough. And you want them, who are they going to protect? They need to protect themselves first before they protect the people of Nigeria.
And then half of the security agencies like the police and even the DSS are guiding the VIPs.
That's
And
what you know.
the rest of the Nigerian citizens are left with the remaining ones.
To the grace of God.
That is crazy. And, you know, when we talk about the Igbos, personally, when I see or I read some comments on social media, comment from some of our Igbo brothers and sisters, I feel angry because it seems to me like we're not addressing the main issue, our main problem. So I want to ask, do you think that the Igbos complain too much instead of paying attention to what is actually wrong with them? Do you think we like blame game where we blame outsiders instead of ourselves? We blame, when it comes to insecurity, we blame outsiders. When it comes to politics, we blame outsiders. We just like pushing the blame on others instead of ourselves.
You know, social media, different narratives. A lot of people like us on social media to make impacts. Some people on social media just to raise dust due to content monetization and all that. I think we blame ourselves too much. You know, we in Enugu, we can easily make Enugu whatever we want to make. 2 years ago, we wanted to make Enugu Rangers as popular as Manchester United. And we came close to doing that. When Ojukwu returned from Ivory Coast, he said something. He said that Biafra is a thing of the mind. That he was indirectly saying something. Igbo people look downwards, build home. It's no longer a story that there is no Hausa man that bought property in Enugu. Do you know any Hausa man that built estates in Enugu or Anambra, Ebonyi or Abia or Imo? No. What about Yoruba people? No. We are the pillar of Nigeria. Abuja here, you might check this estate now and see that half of the structures here are belonging to the Igbos. So we blame others too much. We know the right thing to do. Igbos are blessed. Igbos are rich. Take away the politicians, Igbo billionaires. I don't want to mention names. At my little capacity, I'm not rich. The only thing I have is goodwill and good mind. Look at what I've been able to accomplish over the years. Talk more of these Igbo billionaires. Those you see on social media. Those with, not even social media wealth, physical wealth you can see, perceive, and touch. You can imagine what each of them can do. So we'll blame people too much. Federal government, they give Igbos allocation. Igbo states allocation every month. We have a YGR. Every state in Igboland that wants to do indigenous fundraising can do it. I think last year, governor of Enugu State called people of Enugu, some from Anambra, for security fundraiser. They realized billions of naira. All you need to do as a governor is to carry your subjects along. Anytime you need them, they do. Go to Anambra. You know the caliber of men you have in Anambra. Even your Ebonyi, Baby Oko, or someone like Pofeng, Annie Chooks, plenty of them that I know. Talk about Enugu, talk about Imo, talk about Abia. Prominent sons, home and abroad. There's a state in America where they have Igbo village. Igbos are doing exploit. Go to Germany, go to Canada. So we blame ourselves too much. I'm not saying that we are not having challenges coming from
outside,
outside, which is federal government. But at least we have enough to take care of ourselves if we really want to.
Okay, just like you said, I hosted a man I respect so much on this show a few weeks ago, and he said something very striking. He said that there is no Southeast state that doesn't have a governor, doesn't have a senator, doesn't have House of Rep members and the rest of them. And just like you rightly said, we receive our allocations. So what are our governors using this money for? We must pay attention to these little details before blaming any other person. If the 5 southeastern governors can come together and say, we want to turn this region to a very beautiful place, I don't think it's something that is impossible. And just like you also rightly said, we have a lot of Igbo billionaires who can contribute to that, effect. But my next question is concerning the popular Akurulo adage. Often, our Igbo brothers and sisters feel like the Akurulo simply means going to the village to build one gigantic building, empty building that will be occupied once in a year. Some feels it's going home, with convoy. Igbos like show off. We are loud. We accept that. So talk about the effect of the insecurity in sending away investment, and also tell us what you think the Akurulo truly means.
For me, Akurulo means investing at home, not building house in the village. A friend of mine, Bitcoin Chief, Chief Gaius Chibeze, he lives in Miami. He came to Enugu State and built a farm in more than 400 plots of land. I think that's the largest private farm in Nigeria. He's from Enugu, he did it. But for me, not just insecurity pursuing people, government policies, taxation, government policy. Before you encourage people who went out of their way to acquire wealth to come home and invest, you need to give them an enabling environment.
That is
which one of them is security? Making things easy. Like our governor said during campaign, Governor Peter Nubisimba, that is going to de-risk almost everything to allow you to come and invest and not lose your money. They need to do a whole lot of work, infrastructures. Like in Enugu, we're having a water issue, which the governor is doing everything humanly possible to correct, but there are people sabotaging it. After fixing certain things that are expensive, some people will go to the connection room
and steal it.
When you don't have security, you don't have good roads, you don't have running water, you don't have constant electricity. Federal government have made it in a way that a state can decide to generate their own power and use. I know many countries that left Nigeria due to high cost of electricity. How much is a liter of diesel, fuel, and gas? So away from insecurity, electricity is key. You can't run you can't run your business on diesel 24/7. You need electricity, and you need certain protection from the government. A lot of people in Igboland today are complaining about taxation. They say they are taxing them more than they get in Lagos. And the way people spend in Lagos is not the way they spend in East. How many foreigners live in Southeast? Ask yourself. But ask yourself, how many foreigners live in Abuja? Thousands. How many foreigners live in Lagos? Millions. So these are things people consider. Even Cubana chief priest once said that he's moving his investments from Owerri to Lagos, and he owes nobody apology about it. People who don't own business, they will always talk. Yes. But they say salary owner doesn't know what business owner goes through. As a business owner, at the end of the month, you might be running deficit, but you end up paying salary, and then you don't sleep at night. So I don't blame people about investment. You need to do your homework. After doing your homework, you call people to come and invest. There is insecurity in Southeast. That is obvious. It's a fact. I live in Southeast, and I tell you for sure. And this is something government can easily resolve. Those who apprehended me, let me use the word apprehend, are young people. They are not radical. They are people you can actually talk to. As a sitting governor, you find a mediator. Tell them that nobody's going to arrest them. Come. That was the legacy of former President Omar Musa Yar'Adua. He sent his vice president, Goodluck Azikiwe Jonathan, to go to the most dangerous place in Nigeria and tell everybody to drop the weapon. And all of them were empowered. A lot of them were sent abroad. A lot of them were sent to marine academies. And everywhere was calm. Why won't 5 Southeast governors, those in a Senate, lower and upper chamber, come together and say, let's stop this menace? Call these boys. No matter how tough you are, there is one or two people, one person or two people somewhere you listen to. If you talk to me, you don't get me. There are people around me who, on a normal day, I talk to, and they will chip in that conversation. I will talk about it. They are not serious. Any day they want to promote Okwuluora, they know what to do. They get all these guys to drop their guns.
Now, the issue of IPOB, of course, it's obviously linked to the insecurity in the Southeast. IPOB, ESN, and now the unknown gunmen. Do you think, with all of these things, do you think that Nnamdi Kanu should be released or not?
Well, Nnamdi Kanu should, obviously, clearly be released. What Mazim Nnamdi Kanu constituted was a indigenous people of Biafra, which is a body agitating legally for Biafra. But you know, in everything in Igboland, some people will inculcate criminality in it. I've never had an encounter with IPOB. I've never had an encounter with the Eastern Security Network, so to say. Oh, what happens sometimes? Somebody will send me a message that he's from commander from ESN, that I should send money. But if I don't send money, whatever happens, I take. And after investigation, you see that they are Yahoo boys, criminals. The only people I've had encounter with are those called unknown gunmen. The problem, I love to give you a first-hand information, so I don't say what I don't know. I love to say things that I can defend. The people that kidnap me are unknown gunmen. They are not IPOB. The IPOB that I know, they have meetings all over the world where they meet, and in fact, they registered in the UK, in the US, in Germany. We saw them on social media. Sometimes you see them in where white people gather. In fact, I think 30th of May worldwide, they go to parliament, they do peaceful march. It shows that IPOB is a legitimate organization or a people or an entity seeking to peacefully move away. Even though I am of the opinion that we have people in National Assembly who can also raise the motion, the same way they are raising the motion of other state. So I won't talk about the Eastern Security Network. I don't know them. It might be some criminals parading themselves.
Don't you think that, when IPOB instituted the ESN?
Did they institute the ESN? Did they?
Yes, they were the one that founded ESN.
I don't know.
Yeah, they did. The record is there. They founded ESN as the military wing of IPOB. So, and they empowered them. In fact, we saw videos then where we saw them with, guns and other weapons. Don't you think that this same ESN are now the one who are terrorizing the Southeast in the name of unknown gunmen?
Like I said, this is for the security.
I know you don't have a first-hand fact.
That is,
you're going to say that, but what do you think from your own understanding of the happenings across the region?
Okay, look at me now. I was kidnapped in Imo State, in Omaka. Some people are saying that it wasn't in Omaka, that it's in Bitolu. Some people are saying it's Ezio. Some people were saying that I was never kidnapped. Some people are telling me to bring receipt of the money I paid to Money Point. Different people, different opinion. I think telling you about ESN is wrong because I have no knowledge of them. When I was following Biafra was while Mazen Nnamdi Kanu was still out there preaching, saying things. I like some, I don't like some. I love to say things that I know. I'm seated here talking about unknown gunmen because they nearly shot my skull. Until I have an encounter with the ESN, or I'm not an IPOB member, but I'm sure it's a legitimate organization worldwide. Even in Nigeria, I think they are registered. They are registered everywhere in the world. It is difficult to find a country where indigenous people of Biafra are not registered. And in fact, in UN Charter, they are legitimate. Even as the Ebonyi State, you have the right to go and say you want Ebonyi State to detach themselves from anything called Eastern Nigeria. You want to join the North. It's the duty of your lawmakers to go to Abuja, raise a bill, debate, and if it works for them, so be it. So I've had encounter with unknown gunmen. They are barbaric. But for IPOB, I've not. For Eastern Security Network, I've not. Everything you said might be true, but I have not. Because I love to defend what I know. I don't like to dabble into issues that I do not know. Everything I tell you is something that is verifiable. Like going to Zenith Medical and Kidney Center. You might be 30 minutes away. Go there. If you see any sick person, do you know Okwuluora? Ask about 50 people and see the response you get.
Now, the IPOB was prescribed by the Buhari administration and outlawed as a terrorist organization. I think in that case, they're still fighting it in court. Do you think that people are hiding under the umbrella of IPOB to terrorize the Southeast? Just like you rightly said, of course, every organization have the extremists who take advantage of the popularity and reach of such organizations to perpetuate crimes for their own selfish, gain and interest. Do you think that the IPOB is giving a bad name, and that Nnamdi Kanu, who is the leader of this IPOB, has been given a bad name by the atrocities of those who do not subscribe to the vision and the true agitation of the organization?
I think in this regard, you are correct. There are a lot of people parading themselves as disciples or apostles of Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, but they are not doing the things he preached. So in that regard, I think we are correct. I think there are a lot of people are hiding under that umbrella to unleash mayhem on Igbo people. It doesn't make Mazen Nnamdi Kanu a bad person. In fact, I want a Nigeria where Igbos are going to. In fact, let's build 5 eastern states. Make it America. Make it as good as America. Why would preach Biafra? Like I say, different opinion, different people. Ojukwu returned and said, he was trying to say something. Bring everything back home. People are not doing it. And I can assure you, I can guarantee you, a lot of people, thousands of them, are hiding under the umbrella of IPOB to commit crime.
Do you think that the Southeast will be better off if they become their own country? Do you honestly think that they will be better off if they become their own country? Let's assume now that we wake up tomorrow morning and the state of Biafra is declared. Biafra becomes an independent state. Do you think that region will become better off for it?
It will be difficult unless you give us Biafra and release somebody like Mazen Nnamdi Kanu to pilot it. Because the Biafran states, even in Senate, Rep, all of them are Igbos. Everybody there are Biafrans. So if you give us Biafra with this set of people, we are going to live in penury. What we need is the right people in power. They say when the righteous is in authority, people rejoice. But when the devil are there, people suffer. So the issue is not even giving us Biafra. The issue is leadership. Anambra State is Professor Charles Soludo. Enugu State is Dr. Peter Ndubuisimba. Abia State is Alex Oti. Imo State is Senator Hope Uzodimma. Ebonyi State is His Excellency Ogbonnaya Francis Nwifuru. Is any of someone there? Is any Yoruba man there? No. It's in the 70s, 60s that you see our someone premier of the East. Igbo man premier in the West and all that. Today is all man on his or her own. If you are going to have Biafra with this crop of corrupt and irredeemable, dangerous, without conscience politicians, it makes no sense. It makes no sense. Unless there is going to be overhaul in everything, we'll have a person like you in power. And people like young people, not you just young people with conscience. If you don't have conscience, people suffer too much. Sometimes I go to places in Enugu where name like mine shouldn't appear. But it's my comfort zone. I want to be with poor people. I want to sit with people who don't know where their next meal will come from. I want to talk with them. I want to feel their mindset, their pain, how they how they react to things, how depressed that they are. If you see me 20 times in Enugu, you see me 18 times in schools, empowering students. I think in 2023, I went to Ebonyi State University, about 20 million naira empowerment. It's on record. You can go and watch on Facebook. I went to Aba, it's about 25 million naira empowerment. In fact, I think
I saw they even gave some people cars.
yes. Essay to Governor Lesoti on youth and sports came from Omaya to Aba and told me that the governor said they should record everything that I did there so they can invite me to the government house. I said, I didn't come here for recognition. I came here to support my brothers and sisters in distance. People who lifted me from not being able to buy insulin to distributing cartons of insulin. I went to Unizik, over 10 million. I went to Okopoli, over 20 million. I am a high income earner, but I don't have savings. If you go to my account now, you might not even see 500,000. But I'm a high income earner. Every day of my life, because tomorrow is not guaranteed, I want to give the very best that I can. And we are criticizing the politicians. Some of us have capacity more than even the politicians. I was talking to a certain governor in Igboland. I said, Your Excellency, if I have the money you have, I won't even run for governor. I will empower thousands of people, and my money won't even shift. So the government are adamant. They are not ready to repent. In the meantime, we need to save a lot of families from depression. Go to schools, go to UNN, go to Unizik, go to IMT Enugu, go to Nekedo in Owerri, go to EPSU, go to FUNAI. Students are depressed. Some of them eat 010. Some of them eat 001. People are suffering. And for me, eating doesn't mean eating food. Eating means eating what your body requires at that moment. I want to eat fried rice, and I'm eating up because I can't afford fried rice. So we should be thinking that direction as well, because we might end up waiting for government 100 years and nothing happens. And people will continue to die of depression and hopelessness.
Thank you. Now, let us talk about your charity work. This is what you're known for. We've discussed insecurity. We also made, a little touch on the charity, but I want us to talk deeply into it. I want us to get to understand the intention behind it. Nigeria is a very complex country. The trust rate in Nigeria is very low. People don't trust anybody in this country. Even if you want to sacrifice your life for other people, they say there must be a reason why you want to do it. Your own selfish interest. That is why most of the activists in Nigeria, suffer all sorts of dehumanization, attack, and all of that. So please, I want to find out what exactly propels you. What exactly is your intention? Why are you so hell-bent on helping people? Is it that you make money out of it? Most guys who run NGO in this country, it's not a debate. It's an obvious fact that the people start an NGO just to make money. When people donate money to them, they use 10% of it to, do giveaway, build, and then pocket the rest. Is this what you do? If it is not what you do, why are you so hell-bent on helping people keep going to places, donating your money, and people want to find out exactly what you're after, what your interest in all of these things are.
This is who I am. All my life I've been helping. Before I had access to money, I was helping in different ways until I had access to money. I told you I'm a high income earner, but I don't have savings. And I don't plan to have savings. As I'm talking to you, I pay rent in Enugu. I don't own a house. Well, through me, God have built houses for over 10 people. It's verifiable. So I don't have any ulterior motive. I just want to give the very best of me any day of my life. You talk about naysayers. You can never shut them. I've had challenges coming from people who run NGOs. They want me to join them. I said, no. I am too busy to be collecting money to give somebody. If I see a victim or a sick person, I donate first and put the account number. If it touches you, you donate. If it doesn't touch you, you move on and wait for another person. I made it categorically clear. Go to Zenith Medical and Kidney Center there. God knows. I've told God, anywhere I go, if my intention is clear, lead me safely back home. If my intentions are bad, may I not reach my destination. I'm not doing all the things I do for God to bless me. I do them because they are the right thing, and I do them because they make me happy. The finest, the most amazing moment or time of my life is seeing young persons smile because of my generosity. I go from school to school. One of the biggest gatherings in the history of Abakaliki was in 2023 when I came there. I can show you a clip of that. The love I saw there, I haven't seen it all my life. And the Chineke na-akwara m ụzọ na mba ụzọ adịrọ. And one thing propels me. I never give and expect anything in return. 90% of the people I've helped, I don't even have their phone number. I don't want them to call me. The only thing I want to see is one day you posted your recovery photo on social media and tag me. If you tag me, I will share. So these people who are contributing money to you will see the results and be motivated to do more. I have no ulterior motive. Some say I'm running for political office. Am I not qualified to run? Do I need to do charity to run? All these monies I'm using to do charity, I use it to mobilize and do for politics. Politics is not my thing. In fact, according to some people, I've done more than people who are seated in political offices. You can imagine me, local government chairman or commissioner. If I bring somebody out tomorrow for people to help, they will say, go and tell governor. I have zero interest in politics. All I want to do, all I've ever wanted to do, and all I'm doing, I will continue to do until my final day, is to be the gap between the poor, the sick, and the source of liberation. Because I have a reach to get the liberation and then give to them for them to survive. More than hundreds of, I have proof of all these things. Hundreds. They say we are alive today because of your generosity. You paid for our clearance. You paid for our accommodation. You paid for our script. I don't even know them. Some of them will open their phone and show me a picture. I say, wow. Even the ones I can't remember, I will just nod my head. There was a day I went to UNN. I came to a cafe and say, if you are around here, come and eat. I saw over 500 students. And it was around 3 p.m. Some of them came to school without food. I do this thing as a culture. Anywhere I go and call them. Even because of what happened in Omaka, people are warning me to stop disclosing my location. But I say, this is who I am. If I fail to live this life, what is the point of living? What's the point of existing? This is who I am. Anywhere I'm eating, I call people around who cannot afford to come and eat. I will continue to. I won't stop until the very last day of my life.
Do you at some point feel like, okay, let me just slow down. Let me just stop this thing I'm doing since people are not appreciating me enough.
People are appreciating. More people are appreciating. Those who are hating are born haters. Even if you bring a dormer to cut your hand to please them, they will say that the dormer is a smaller one, that it should be a bigger one. So I've learned when to dare and when to fight. I've eaten my own share of pain. I've been depressed due to comments. And Annie Dons called me one day. He said, Okwuluora, you are a boy, a child on a mission. You need to grow thick skin. And after that day, my mindset changed. Everybody must not like you, no matter how good you are to them. I've seen people who married. The husband will do everything to make the wife happy. Tickets to Canada, money to shop, buy cologne, buy jewelries and all that. But look at the woman is not happy. So in totality, you cannot please everyone. You do the much you can and leave the rest for God, and the little for few who are looking for loopholes. I always tell them I'm a human. I can never be complete. I'm a human. I do everything every young man does. The only thing I have that is exceptional is good heart. Apart from that, I go to the club. If I see a woman I like, I'll take her number. I drink, I dance.
Is it a man number that you take before?
Apart from the good heart, I'm like every other human being,
I was going to ask you why, when you were speaking, you said you're 35.
Yes.
So we are age mates.
Yes.
All right. And I wanted to ask. I wanted this question to be the last question, but now that you've talked about it, let me ask you: why exactly are you not married? Are you suffering what people like me are suffering too, or you just feel like there is no?
No, I want to take my time.
Mm,
You know, they say better late than making mistake.
mm,
Better take your time. Marriage is a lifetime institution. And if you marry and divorce, it goes to your CV. Married 2022 to 2027, then another person. I want to marry one time and get it right. I've had a lot of people around me, but I'm still taking my time. I'm somebody who is very soft. I'm somebody who is willing to commit. And I'm somebody who is very emotional. I've seen a whole lot of bad marriages. Even the ones we are seeing on social media. People who are mega stars, people who have brands to lose if anything goes sour in their marriage. But they were brave enough to push all the brands and billions away and divorce. I want the right person. You know, I'm somebody who gets angry easily. Little things get to me. So I want somebody who will look at me and understand where I'm coming from. There's nothing like perfection, but I want something near perfect.
mm.
I don't care where the person comes from. Somebody who will look at me at times of difficulties and pity me. Even when there are pending issues, you know that this man is not in the right state of mind to have that conversation.
Mm.
And then you leave me. I don't want somebody who will make life miserable for me. Because I know my type of person, I'm difficult already. I need somebody, even if I'm raising everywhere, that person will come and talk about it at the appropriate time. So I'm hoping that before the end of the year.
End of the year. This is August.
I'm hoping.
Okwuluora. Anyway, people like me, my mother has given me till the end of the year to also marry, or I should not come back.
So you are in hotter seat.
So please, if you're watching this video and you fit the description Okwuluora just gave, you should you don't wait for people to send you a DM. Hit his inbox and let him know that you're fit, you're near perfect for him. All right. No time to waste time. Oh. Now let us talk about P2B and politics. Just few more questions and I'll release you, sir. P2B and the whole obedient movement. First, I want to ask if you're part of the obedient movement.
Even the Northerners,
Mm.
those in the West, I want to talk about me
Mm.
in the East, born in Onitsha, where Peter lives. You know, let it be sentiment. An Igbo man have never been voted president of Nigeria.
Mm.
It's been Hausa, Yoruba, South. Let's say Peter doesn't know what he's doing. Let's say Peter is blabbing and all that. But give a man from Southeast chance for once. Let's end that argument. And Peter himself said that if Yaradua could do exploit in 2 years, that 4 years is enough. Let's break that genes, that barricade. Vote Igbo man as the president of Nigeria. Not anyhow Igbo man. There are Igbo men you call. We Igbo will even tell us how to return power. We want P2B, the president of Nigeria 2027. Even in the north, they celebrate him. In Benin, they celebrate him. Anywhere, they celebrate him.
I just want you to mention 5 politicians from the southeast that if they come out today to become president, you will not support them. 5 big known politicians.
Those I will not support.
Yes.
I have to be very, very brave.
I know you are a brave man.
Yes. Not that I don't like them as a person, but the policies and all that. Number 1 is the former governor of Enugu State, Governor Ifeanyi Ugwuanyi. I will not vote him. The former governor of Anambra State, Governor Willie Obiano. I will not vote him. The current governor of Ebonyi State is a good man, but I think he's very young. You know,
and inexperienced.
You need certain height of ruggedity to be in Aso Villa. In that regard, I won't vote him. Not that he can't do anything, but Nigerian politics, you have to be rooted. He's the third person, the fourth Igbo man, governor of Imo State, Governor Hope Uzodimma. I don't want him as a president. And then the fifth, I think I was stopping for former governor of Enugu State, Sullivan Chime, is a presidential material. Chimaroke Nnamdi, presidential material. The current governor is even bigger than being governor of Enugu State. Is a presidential material. I'm looking at the fifth person.
Will you vote Rochas Okorocha?
Rochas was once good. Rochas was.
Will you vote Okezi Bazu?
Okezi Bazu, God forbid.
Will you vote Ojos Okalo?
Ojos Okalo started very well and lost it. Ojos Okalo won Enyimba Champions League 2 times in a row. He conquered football in Africa. He took Enyimba to Italy. He did very well, but on the latter stages, he fell off with the people. After all, Okwuluora doesn't make anybody president. My opinion counts and that of others counts. So I'm looking at their popularity in the minds of the people. I don't think people will vote Ojos Okalo as a president. Another man I think would have gone far in politics was late Senator Patrick Ifeanyuba. He's another man that had political future. But unfortunately, most times life doesn't give you what you bargain. You know, his life was cut short. He was about to become the governor of Anambra State.
Do you think that the Igbos will be pleased with just 4-year term?
Let them get the 4 years first.
Wouldn't they complain after the 4 year?
But performance says the thing. There's a way Peter Obi will transform Nigeria. Even Hausa and Yorubas will beg him to please do 8 years.
And if he agrees to do 8 years, will that be a betrayal of the trust from his political
from my perspective, they should give him 4 years first. Peter Obi is a man of integrity, my opinion. They should give him 4 years. 4 years is enough to at least relieve the people of Nigeria suffering. You know, you mentioned finance that pushed us backwards. One of them is Governor Okeze Ibazo, but the other is Theodore Oji. We know those who made life hell for people. Governor Willie Obiano of Anambra State, Governor Ifeanyi Chukwugwuanyi of Enugu State, a lot of them, they served for 8 years, and that 8 years was worse than you can ever imagine.
What exactly do you think is the problem between the current governor of Anambra State, Professor Charles Soludo, and Peter Obi? What do you think is the reason why Charles Soludo seems to hate Peter Obi so much?
That is politics. The time of Peter Obi, Soludo was also pushing to be governor. And you know, today they are in different parties. It's normal with Nigerian politics. Don't be surprised that in private they talk. And you know, in your state as sitting governor, you want to be the shining star. But in the case of Soludo, Peter Obi is the shining star without occupying any political office, and you, the governor, might even be the second or third. When you are the governor of Ebonyi State, you want to be everything. So I think that is the little difference they are having. Peter Obi is people's choice, and nobody can take that shine away from him. I think that is where they are having little issues.
People say that the obedient are extremists. They are disrespectful. They are loud. They call the obedient all sorts of names.
Who are those people? Have you seen the American presidential rally? That is where you see people who are radical, people who are extremists, people who are ready to give their lives for their candidates to win. For me, politics in Nigeria is nothing. Before the first time President Donald Trump was elected, I think in 2024 or 2023, 2024 during the campaign. It was not 2023, 2018 or thereabout. That was the first time in office before he lost to Joe Biden and then won again. I followed the whole moment in CGTN, Deutsche Welle, Al Jazeera, BBC, CNN. I switch channels so I can get opinion of each media house, because channel like Press TV are pro-Middle East. CNN is pro-America. BBC is pro-Britain. So I want to get perspective of everybody. So that is where you see extremists in politics. No, have you seen that or heard that obedient people, they burnt house, they beat somebody? No, they only make noise on social media and they make noise on ground when they need pay. I think they are resolute and They are democratic enough. Anybody calling them extremists is committing blunder. They've done nothing.
Finally, about politics, I want you to sincerely tell us if you honestly think that in 2027 election, if you think P2B has any chance at all, do you think P2B has any chance of winning? He could not win Tinubu when Tinubu was not even the president. Do you think, sentiment apart, emotions apart, do you think there is any chance whatsoever that he may become the president?
If the coalition might be a deceit, because the incumbent can do something, plot people to scatter something later. If the coalition is real, all the men in that room sincere to themselves, and they give somebody like P2B a DC ticket, I have the opinion that he will win. You know, in as much as you are in power, plotting irregularities, the opposition are also plotting their things to counter the irregularities you're going to bring. Remember, Nigeria is the most populous black nation, and the 2027 presidential election is going to be the biggest, the greatest, the most anticipated in the history of black mankind. The world will be watching, so it's going to be very difficult. All we are praying is that P2B gets the ADC ticket with the coalition. If they don't give him, then Tinubu goes back without having to fight.
Let's talk about religion, prophet and pastors in the Southeast. You are a Christian, a very serious one, and that I see how you talk about your faith passionately. And that, of course, is because of what God has done in your life. But in the Southeast, we have people like Father Mbaka, we have people like Igbo Accountability, we have a whole lot of prophet, pastors, and priests who have caused a lot of controversies at one point or the other because of either false prophecies, staged miracles, and how they, conduct the affairs of their churches. Do you think that these religious leaders are contributing to the problem in the Southeast? And do you think they are doing the best they should have done to ensure that there is peace, there is love, and there is, that harmony in Southeast?
In every honesty, there is a lot of misinterpretation, division in followership. I'm a Christian, but I can't remember the last time I go to church. For me, Christianity is practical, doing what is right, not basically going to church every Sunday, Mark and all that. I'm not following anybody in particular, but the two names you mentioned are people I respect so much. Father Camilo Seji Kembata, Evangelist Ebukobi, name them. I love a whole lot of them, even those who do Omenana. I love them. There's a song in Igbo. Ike di n'elu, ike di n'ala, ike di n'ebe niile, ma aha Jesus carry ha. Even in native doctor, there is power. There are things they will do there and it will affect your life. It means there is power there. There is power in tongue. There is power everywhere. I have to agree with you. I've seen a lot of them collide, directly or indirectly. Or one of them throwing thrones on the other, and the other one responding directly or through the aids and all that. But it's none of my business. I am worshiping God, not man. The God in heaven, the God whose accounts and lives living was written in the Bible, Old and New Testament. That's the God I worship. So I am not a fan of any man of God, but I love all of them. Everybody who calls the name of God in truth and honesty, I am automatically fan of that person. Even if Yoruba pastor, anybody who doesn't preach evil, who doesn't do evil, even native doctors who do good. There are herbalists. They are doctors as well, who cure poison and cherry and all that.
Why have you not spoken up against this constant practice of these pastors where they stage miracles to deceive our mothers, to deceive families, seed of discord among husbands and wives?
I've not been a witness, a direct witness or eyewitness of a fake miracle. You know, you're in an era of social media. People can decide to blackmail anybody. They can use AI to do anything. I've never, like I said, I don't go to church. I'm somebody who doesn't hesitate in condemning something that is bad. I have never been in present and somebody conducted or performed a false miracle. And I don't come to social media to say it or even tell the pastor to the face. Take one thing from me. The only human I'm scared of is Jesus Christ of Nazareth. I call him human because he came down at some point as a human and now in spirit. Apart from Jesus Christ of Nazareth, the maker of the heavens and the earth. Yoko Emmanuel Onyeko, Okwuluora and Igbo from Ohono Walker, Kanu East. I'm not even scared of dying this evening. So that is why I bear the truth. That's why a lot of people do not like me. They envy my boldness. Some say I speak so good, and that's why they hate me. I've overheard people talk what they heard about people who say they hate me. There are things that are inconsequential. Well, because of that, they say because he speaks good English. I don't even think I speak good English. It's to tell you how bad things are. For me to condemn something, it has to be certainty. There should be established certainty that this thing, not that somebody told me that Onya say and I will. Have you seen me do sag on social media? In fact, the easiest way for me to hate you is to see you on social media doing saga with people. Insult people, you put ring light, you insult people, I don't do that. And nobody will even instigate me to do that. I know how many times they have contacted me. Onya and Abasa Howard, they give me 10 million to join their camp, their WhatsApp group. It's laughable. It's laughable.
So they believe you're a mercenary that
Well,
can be
I
hired.
can't be. I am a mercenary for the poor, for the sick, for those who have nobody to speak for them. I'm not a mercenary for billionaires and pastors who are looking for who they will bring down. I will never be a party to that.
Thank you so much, Okwuluora. I think it's been a very wonderful and exciting episode, and hopefully those who are going to be watching this video will learn one or two things from it and be able to also understand you better, understand the work you do better, and see the sincerity in your voice and in your charity works. So I want to thank you for taking time to honor us.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is the end of this episode. We're going to be bringing you more exciting episode, and I implore you to share this video after watching and leave a comment whether it's for or against what we've just discussed here today. We want to hear from all of you, and please do not forget to subscribe and to follow Okwuluora to be able to witness some of these challenges.
I will share as well.
Thank you so much. Love you.
Thank you.